Welcome back. Now in this video we're going to work with the images that we downloaded from Kunaki in order to form a template. Now one of the things you're going to notice right away is that these images that we downloaded are probably not exactly to our liking in terms of the dimensions. So what we can do is we can take note of the size. In this particular case you'll notice that this dimension is going to be 1394 by 1394. So we're going to take that dimension and we're actually going to go to our Photoshop. And we're going to design something that's 1394 by 1394. And what we're going to do is we're going to open a new document and we're just going to make it 1394 by 1394. And we're going to make sure it's a transparent document. And so now what we have is we have the exact square that's actually going to be inside of our CD case or our image case. And this is how we want to design the actual template. What we've been doing is we've been stretching images to fit their template. Now, they've actually given us the size. Now that we have the exact size, we can use this to our advantage to have the dimensions look the way we want. And we're going to create different layers and we're going to create images that, again, are sized according to the way we want them to be sized. Now, what we can do is we can pull an image into this square. In fact, we can go and get one of the images that are already here, already present. And we're going to paste that image in here. Now, typically, when we already have a Photoshop image, it's going to accommodate the format. And so what we want to do is we want to keep our aspect ratio. But we want to design this format. And we want it to fill out the format in the way that we want it to actually look. Now again, what we want to do is we want to keep in mind exactly how this format looked. You'll notice how this looked inside of the CD. And we can then design our template in that same way. And we can make it so that it does not look stretched. And so what we're going to do then is we're going to now save this as the format that we actually have. And what you can see here is that when we compare the images, instead of having one that's going to be stretched, we have one that kind of fits the dimensions in the way that we want it to be. So we want to take the dimensions that CreateSpace gives us, we want to design a template, and then we want to draw the images in. And we want to draw those images in at the size that we want them to be so that they will not look stretched. So in each case, you're going to look at the size of the document. For instance, this one is 1500 by 2172. This one is 3236 by 2173. This one is 3236 by 2173. And so we can continue to design our templates according to these sizes. And then we want to then proportion them so that our images will look professional and that they'll be proportional when they actually fit inside of the case. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. So once your work is up and running on CreateSpace, you will want to make sure that you connect to Amazon and get your Amazon Author Central account because of the marketing tools that it makes available. And we're going to go inside of Amazon Author Central and take a look at some of these tools. Now, the Amazon Author account actually allows you to set up a profile that will allow you to share real-time information from some of your social media as well as your blog. For example, you can set up your blog's RSS feed so that whenever you update your blog, your Amazon Central account will be updated. Anytime that you have an event, you can actually do that event and you can update that event inside of your Amazon Author Central. Now, obviously, it should be connected to your book and whatever your subject is. But the point is that the platform gives you the opportunity to set events in front of the people who are going to be coming by looking for information on your topic. Now, the other thing is that you can actually add video to your Amazon Author Central account. You can upload 500 meg of video, and that's quite a bit of video if you want to do a profile or if you want to tell people about what you're going to be talking about in your books. This is a great place for you to be able to do that. Once again, Amazon Author Central is a great tool. Now, one of the other things that you'll notice is that Amazon Author Central is going to give you an author page URL. And you want to do what you can to try to claim your name in Amazon Author Central. You want to get your first and last name, and so that even if you're not writing at the time, you want to go in and try to claim your Author Central account as close to your name as you can, so that you will always have the brand when you actually start writing. So simply just go in and add to each one of these sections, and you can actually fill up this section with everything that you're actually doing, and can have all these things updating while you are doing them from the actual feed. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. What we're going to do now is we are going to work with Photoshop in order to design our template. And so you'll notice that Amazon is going to give you a size template based on the number of pages and the paper color that you're going to be using to publish your book when you use Create Space. When you have your dimensions in there, you're going to click Build Template. So what you're going to do is you're going to download the zip file and unzip it, and you'll have a PNG file and a PDF in there. And then we can open up the PNG inside of our image editing software. What you're going to notice is that you now have some guidance on how to size your actual book and how to size what you want your cover to be. And if you know anything about working with Photoshop, what you're going to try to do is you're going to make sure that you stay within these lines, that if you're going to use the spine, that you get it inside of these areas, and that if you're going to use the back cover, that you design inside of here. And so what you're going to need to do is you can size this up and size this down so that you can design according to the dimensions that you have. So what we can do is we can actually add in our layer, and then we can pull our template or whatever we're going to be using for our book into these spaces. Now before you actually lay out your book, you want to pay attention to what this information is telling you. For example, the black dotted line is where your book's going to be cut. The blue dotted line is where the spine is going to fold. So you want to make sure that you don't have any letters here because they're going to spill over there. The white area is going to be live, and that's what your customer is actually going to see. And then anything in the red is not actually going to be seen. And so you want to think through how you want your cover to appear. And this is easy to do in Photoshop. Or, of course, if you're not necessarily handy with Photoshop, you can actually have this done by someone. Right? So one of the things that you could do is you can actually design your template, and you want to design it according to the size. And you want to pay attention to the size of the entire PDF that actually comes out. Now let's take a look at how the image is sized. Now the image size is 3776 by 2775. So when you actually do a design, you want to pay attention to those dimensions. And so you've noticed that we have a template that fits in here, but if you wanted to design your own template, you would want to make sure that it fits into those dimensions. 3776 by 2775. And you can do that easily inside of Photoshop if you have some designs that you might want to either use or combine. So you would start by creating an image size or new image that would be that size. You will want to make it transparent and then click OK. And we can actually size this down in Photoshop, and what we would be doing is we would be designing inside of this square. And as we design inside of this square, when we complete our actual template, that's when we take the template and we place it back on top of this one. And of course, we can just continue to look at this template as our guide. So there are two steps in the process. One, we want to find out what the image size is of the template. And all these templates are going to be specific because they're going to be according to how many pages our book has, as well as the actual size. So in this particular case, we're going to look at the image size. That's one step. And then we're going to create our template size, and we're going to create it in the size of that template so we can start to do our design inside of there. And we want to make sure that our image size is exactly that. And we can begin to do a design, any one that we want according to maybe some e-covers that we have. We put them inside of some layers, but we can begin to make this into what we actually want it to look like. So for example, if we have a flat design, we can actually take a look at this design and how it would fit into what it is that we're trying to do. And in Photoshop, we can actually size this design up. If we want to keep the aspect ratio, we can do that. And what you'll notice is that when we get Photoshop images, we can then begin to design it inside of the template that we're actually going to be using, and that's actually going to be on our hardcover book. Now, once again, if you're comfortable designing on Photoshop, this is something that you can do. You'll be able to handle this. Of course, this is something that you can actually start an intermediate step by having someone to design a template for you to fit your exact dimensions. So when you actually go to give someone on, let's say, Fiverr or some other design location, you can actually give them the dimensions of the image that you want them to have. Or you can start in an interim step. You can have them design a front pocket and a back pocket, and then you can fit it in. If you want to fit it into a specific budget, maybe you don't want them to design the whole thing. So there are lots of options once you understand how the template works inside of Create Space. Once you can get the sizing down, you can size it inside of a program like Photoshop. That's when you can start to use that latitude in order to have designers work with you according to your budget. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to talk about selling on CreateSpace and Amazon. And one of the things that you probably have noticed is that CreateSpace will give you a direct link from CreateSpace to your actual product. So for example, you will have a title URL that you can actually have your customer go to this page and actually purchase your material. Now, this could be helpful when you are in a speaking engagement or you are actually having someone to go to a page where they won't be distracted with lots of other products. And CreateSpace will actually give you that in order for people to order your book. CreateSpace will also allow you to issue discount codes to certain individuals, which you can use this link. And actually, when you're selling on Amazon.com, this could be appropriate. Now, when you're actually using a discount code, you may have a co-author, you may have a contributor, and you want to use those discount codes so that they can actually have people to purchase the book at the author rate. You can actually discount it down to whatever your author rate is. Now, one of the things little known about Amazon is that Kunaki actually has an interface with Kunaki. And as you can see here, Kunaki can manufacture your product, and you can actually have your product drop shipped to Amazon using their FBA program, and that will get your product before people in some of these other venues. Now, the Amazon Advantage program is the one that you'd actually be using in order to become certified to use Kunaki with Amazon. And you need to submit an application to what they call their Amazon Advantage program. And if you Google Amazon Advantage, you'll be able to find this program and find out more about it. But basically, what you'd be able to do is you'd be able to have a hands-free selling process with Kunaki and Amazon. The other thing that you'll want to be aware of is that this is a consignment program, and as such, Amazon charges $99 on an annual basis. So you want to factor that in as to whether or not this is something that you can actually profit from. You want to factor that into every sale you make, in addition to the 55% commission that Amazon is actually going to make, because the Advantage program is actually a consignment program. They're giving you access to their marketplace, and you are actually consigning items to them. So in some cases, you may not even own the content. What you're doing is you're consigning it to Amazon. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, we are now in the Create a New Product screen, and we have just created some CD graphics. But we are going to, for the sake of this tutorials, we're actually going to create a video DVD, and we're going to upload some files. And as you know, there are a couple of choices that you have. And one of the unique things about Kunaki is that you can upload any format that you want in order for this to be made into a DVD. Kunaki will actually take your video through the process of making it into the DVD so it will play on people's computer or their entertainment system. So let's go ahead and we are going to upload our video file. And Kunaki will then ask you for your designs. And you should have already completed your designs if you're going to do this. Obviously, if you want to do this, you'll walk through the same steps that we did in video 9 for this DVD case. We're just going to go through this process very quickly, and we're going to put some designs there, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to start the process of uploading. Now, we have uploaded our artwork that we just created on the system. And what you want to do is, again, you want to make sure that your video and all of your files are tagged before you actually go through the upload process. Now, we're going to choose a video that we have for this purpose. Once we have our file there, we're going to click Upload. Once we've done that, we're going to put our title and all of our information in here. And we're going to add in a Kunaki UPC barcode. Once we have all of our information in, we're just not going to do this just for the sake of time in this video. We're going to go ahead and click Submit Product. Okay, so once all of our information is in there, we're going to click Submit Product. And then what's going to happen is Kunaki is going to update us every 30 seconds as to when our product is actually going to be ready. So we're going to step away and we're going to pause the video here, and then we're going to come back when the process is complete. Okay, so Kunaki says our product is ready, so we can now log in and look for it in the customer area. And in this case, we added in a UPC barcode, and this will allow us to do record keeping and accounting with this particular product, and for us to be able to track sales very easily. But basically, we are now ready to sell this product. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to configure our product in order to be sold through Kunaki, and Kunaki has a blue link here at the bottom, and we're going to click Configure Retail Options. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this a Kunaki sales page. So we're going to give this a price. And then we're going to enable the service, as well as the Kunaki PayPal email that we want to have this shipped to. Once we have all that information, then we're going to click Apply. Now, Kunaki is going to give us two sets of pages for our customer. They're going to give us a set of pages for all of our products, and they're going to give us a set of links for the individual product. So we can actually give our customer whichever page that we think will make sense for our business. And so if we have a series of products that we want to have together, want to have them all on PayPal, we can actually give that link to the customer or put this link someplace where people are going to access it through our website. Now at this point, Kunaki is not yet ready to have you embed their page, but you can link to them, and obviously you already do that. So if you have a WordPress site or you have a site, you're just going to bury the link inside of your hyperlink, and then you're going to send them to your Kunaki page. Now if you have an audio CD, Kunaki will allow you to interface with a company called CD Baby. And for people who want to actually have the copy sent to them, they can order those copies. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, what we're going to do is we are going to now build a cover using the Kunaki interface. And you'll see here that we are at the CD jewel case screen, and each one of the different ways that you can actually sell products on Kunaki gives you the opportunity to create a jewel case as well as to paint or to color the CD or the media that you're actually going to be selling. So in this case, you'll see right here at the top, it says to open the jewel case, Disc Design tool. And what you can do to get started is you can actually choose an image. And they tell you that you generally want to have an image that's going to stretch over this entire CD. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to go ahead and we're going to now choose an image. And as you can see here, we use the print on demand playbook, the larger view, and you'll notice that what the CD does is it squeezes the image in order to fit into your actual media. So you want to be mindful of the size. Now we could actually try a smaller size to see how that would actually work. And you can see here the smaller one actually doesn't have the right resolution. We'll try again with the medium resolution. And once again, you'll see that it really tries to squeeze the image in. Now what we could do is we could make this image smaller using an image creator or an image editor. But we're going to leave this as is, and we're going to go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to change this banner. And you'll notice there that we have control over the banner color. We have control over the size as well as the position. Now we could choose that we don't want to even have a banner. And in that case, we could just take out the text altogether. Now, any text that we put back in, we have control over this text using these bars. And we can control that text any way that we write in. If we like, we can change the font and suit it to our liking. But in this particular case, we can just decide not to have text at all on our actual CD. Now the next step is going to be for us to be able to design the actual case booklet panel. And once again, if we wanted to brand using the image that we have, we're just going to re-upload that same image. And so what we're going to do again is we're going to choose our file. We're going to upload it again. Now what we can do is we can move the image around and zoom it out or zoom it in. We can actually move it up or down, depending on how we want it to actually look. And once again, we can choose to take out the text if we don't want to have it, and get rid of the banner altogether. But we have these controls to actually use the banners the way we want to use them. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to design the inside booklet panel. And each one of these pieces is going to be part of the CD, and each of the pieces of media will actually give you all of these pieces to design as you start to create media. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to create another piece of media here, and this is going to go inside of the booklet panel. And so we're going to choose a file here. And then once again, we're going to get rid of the media. We're going to get rid of the wording. Now again, you can actually write on your CD, or you can have the image control the CD. We're choosing to have the image control the CD. So we're going to take this out. Okay, so now we have our inside jacket. What we're going to do now is we're going to design the part that actually shows in the back tray, and that's where the CD actually resides. So we're going to choose another related image. And we're actually going to write in here and we're going to take the header out. We're going to change this color. And what we can do is if we want to change the actual color to something specific, well, we'd need to know the specific numeric code. So if we were trying to color match, we'd use a program like Instant Eyedropper. And then hover over the actual program. So if we write in 135488, we'll have an exact color match. Okay, now each one of these images are now ready for us to download, and then we're going to re-upload them when we actually get ready to submit our media. So what you want to do is you'll want to download each one of these, and when you're ready to upload and to complete your submission of your product, these are the images that you will use. So you want to go ahead and play around with the image editor and to get a feel for what it is that you like to do. If you have some images that you're more comfortable with, you can go ahead and use them. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.